Which restaurant did Jim go to?
Jim went to McDonald's.
Oh, Jim went to McDonald's. Yeah,
McDonald's.
Jim went to McDonald's.
Yes.
He wanted to eat everything in McDonald's.
Yes.
Did he want to eat all the hamburgers in McDonald's?
Yes. He wanted to eat all of hamburgers in McDonald's.
Yes, he did. He wanted to eat all the hamburgers in McDonald's.
All the hamburgers.
Did he want to eat all the French fries in McDonald's?
Yes, he wanted to eat all the French fries in McDonald's.
Yes, he did. He wanted to eat all the French fries in McDonald's.
Yes.
And he wanted to eat all the hamburgers in McDonald's. Jim wanted to eat everything in McDonald's.
Yes.
Why?
Because Jim was extremely frustrated. He didn't lose any weight.
Because he was so frustrated.
Yes.
Yeah, Jim was very frustrated. So frustrated. But at McDonald's, he met a beautiful woman. Oh.
Yes.
She liked him.
Mm.
He liked her.
Oh.
Who did Jim meet?
Jim met a beautiful woman in McDonald's.
Jim met a beautiful woman. Where did Jim meet a beautiful?
Jim met a beautiful woman in McDonald's restaurant.
Woman.
In McDonald's.
At McDonald's. Jim met a beautiful woman at McDonald's.
Yes.
Who did Jim meet at McDonald's?
Jim met a beautiful woman at McDonald's.
He met a beautiful woman at McDonald's. Did Jim meet a handsome man at McDonald's?
No, Jim didn't meet a handsome man at McDonald's. He met a beautiful woman in McDonald's.
Or a beautiful woman
Yes, of
at
course.
McDonald's?
He met a beautiful
Oh,
woman.
a beautiful woman.
In McDonald's.
Jim met a beautiful woman at McDonald's.
At McDonald's.
Did the woman like Jim?
Yes, she liked Jim.
Yes, she liked him. Oh, good. Yes, the beautiful woman liked Jim.
Yes.
Did Jim like her?
Yes, Jim also liked her.
Yes, Jim liked her, and she liked him.
Yes.
Who liked Jim?
The beautiful woman liked him.
The beautiful woman liked Jim. Who did Jim like?
Jim liked the beautiful woman.
Jim liked the beautiful woman.
Yes.
What was her name?
Her name was Susan.
The beautiful woman's name was Susan.
Yes.
Susan was the beautiful woman's name. Where was Susan?
Susan was in McDonald's.
At McDonald's.
Yes.
Where was Jim?
Jim was at McDonald's. Also.
At McDonald's. Jim was at McDonald's. And Susan was at McDonald's.
Yes.
Was Susan ugly? Or was Susan beautiful?
Susan was beautiful. She was a beautiful woman. Not ugly.
Susan was beautiful. Susan was a beautiful woman.
Yes.
And she liked Jim. Jim liked Susan.
Yes.
They began to date.
Yes.
Who began to date?
Susan and Jim began to date.
Well, Jim and Susan. Jim and Susan began to date.
Yes.
What did Jim and Susan begin to do?
They began to date.
To date. Jim and Susan began to date. Who began to date?
Jim and Susan began to date.
Jim and Susan. Jim and Susan began to date. Did Jim and Susan begin to eat?
No, they didn't begin to eat. They began to date.
No. Did Jim and Susan begin to drink?
No, they didn't begin to drink. They began to date.
No. What did Jim and Susan begin to do?
They began to date.
Date. Jim and Susan began to date.
Yes.
They began to date. Why did they begin to date?
Because they liked each other.
Oh, well, they began to date because they liked each other.
Yes.
They liked each other. Jim liked Susan, and Susan liked Jim.
Yes.
They liked each other. Every day, Susan cooked healthy food for Jim.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Every day, Susan cooked healthy food for Jim.
Yes.
What kind of food did she cook?
She cooked healthy food for Jim.
She cooked healthy food.
Healthy. Food. Yes.
Who cooked healthy food?
Susan. Susan cooked healthy food.
Susan cooked healthy food. Did Jim cook healthy food?
No, Jim didn't cook healthy food.
No. Unfortunately. No, Jim didn't cook healthy food.
Yes.
So, who cooked healthy food?
Susan. Susan cooked healthy food. Healthy food.
Susan cooked healthy food.
Yes.
Who did Susan cook for?
Susan cooked healthy food for Jim.
Who did Susan cook for?
She cooked for Jim.
For Jim. She cooked for Jim. Susan cooked for Jim. What did she cook for Jim?
She cooked healthy food for Jim.
Healthy food. She cooked healthy food for Jim. Did she cook healthy food for her mother?
No, she didn't cook healthy food for her mother. She cooked healthy food for Jim.
No, not for her mother. She cooked healthy food for Jim.
Yes.
When did she cook healthy food for Jim?
She cooked healthy food for Jim every day.
Oh, every day.
Every
day, all the time. Every day, Susan cooked healthy food for Jim.
Yes.
Did Susan make a difference?
Yes. Susan made a difference in Jim's life.
In Jim's life. Did
Yes.
she change his life?
Yes, she changed his
Oh,
life.
yes. Susan made a difference in his life. Did Susan change Jim's life?
Yes, Susan changed Jim's life.
Yes, Susan changed Jim's life. Susan made a difference
Yes.
in Jim's life. Who made a difference?
Susan made the difference.
Susan. Susan made a difference.
Yes.
Did she make a difference?
No, Jim didn't make a difference.
In her own life?
No.
Or did she make a difference in Jim's life?
She made a difference in Jim's life, not her own life.
She made a difference in Jim's life. Who made a difference in Jim's life?
Susan made a difference in Jim's life.
Susan. Susan made a difference in Jim's life. Did she make a difference in Chris's life?
No, she didn't make a difference in Chris' life.
No, she didn't make a difference in Chris's life. She made a difference in Jim's life. How did she make a difference?
She made a difference by cooking healthy food.
In Jim's life.
Yeah. By
cooking healthy food. She made a difference in Jim's life by cooking healthy food. So, what did she do to make a difference?
She cooked healthy food to make a difference in Jim's life.
She cooked healthy food. She cooked healthy food and made a difference in Jim's life. Jim lost weight. Yay! Jim lost weight. Did he lose a little weight?
No, he didn't lose little weight. He lost many weights.
No! Jim lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, a lot.
Why? Why did Jim lose a lot of weight?
Because he had a wonderful girlfriend. She cooked healthy food for him, so he lost a lot of weight.
Because Susan cooked healthy food for him every day. Susan cooked healthy food for Jim every day.
Yes.
So he lost weight.
Lost weight.
After 6 months, how much did he weigh?
After 6 months, he weighed 170 pounds, 77 kilos.
Only 170 pounds.
Yes.
After 6 months,
6 months.
Jim weighed only 170 pounds.
Yes.
How many kilos did he weigh after 6 months?
He weighed 77 kilos after 1 month, after 6 months.
77. After 6 months, he weighed 77 kilos,
Yes.
or 170 pounds.
Yes.
Who weighed 170 pounds?
Yes, of course, Jim. Jim weighed 170 pounds.
Jim weighed 170 pounds.
Yes.
When did Jim weigh 170 pounds?
Jim weighed 170 pounds after 6 months.
Well, after 6 months. After 6 months, Jim weighed 170 pounds.
Yes.
Was he fat?
No, he wasn't fat.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't fat. Jim was thin. Why was Jim thin?
Because he had a wonderful girlfriend.
Because he had a wonderful girlfriend. Jim was thin because he had a wonderful girlfriend.
Yes.
Who was his girlfriend?
Susan was his girlfriend.
Well, his girlfriend was Susan. His girlfriend was Susan.
Yes.
Was Susan fantastic?
Yes, of course. Susan was fantastic.
Yes, Susan was fantastic. Susan was wonderful and fantastic.
Wonderful.
Who was wonderful?
Susan was wonderful.
Susan. Who was thin?
Jim was thin.
Jim was thin, and Susan was wonderful. After 6 months, how much did Jim weigh?
Jim weighed 170 pounds, 77 kilos after 6 months.
Jim weighed 170 pounds after 6 months. Who weighed 170 pounds after 6 months?
Of course, Jim. Jim weighed 170 pounds after 6 months.
Jim weighed 170 pounds after 6 months.
Yes.
Did he weigh 77 kilos after 4 months?
No, he didn't weigh 77 kilos after 4 months.
No, not after 4 months. After 6 months, he weighed 77 kilos.
Yes.
Did Jim lose weight?
Yes, Jim lost weight. He lost a lot of weight.
Yes, he did. Jim lost weight. Jim lost a lot of weight.
Yes.
How much does Jim weigh now?
Jim weighs 170 pounds, 77 kilos now.
Well, now Jim weighs 170 pounds. Is Jim thin now?
Yes, of course. Jim is thin now.
Yes, he is. Now Jim is thin.
Yes.
How did Jim feel? After 6 months, how did he feel?
After 6 months, he felt thrilled.
Thrilled. Jim felt thrilled.
Thrilled. Yes.
Was Jim thrilled?
Yes, Jim was thrilled.
Yes, Jim was thrilled. Was Jim excited and happy?
Yes, of course. Jim was excited and happy.
Yes, he was excited and happy. Jim was thrilled. Was Chris thrilled or was Jim thrilled?
Jim was thrilled.
Jim was thrilled. So, Jim was sad?
No, Jim wasn't sad.
No. Jim wasn't sad. Jim was thrilled.
Yes.
Was Susan thrilled?
Yes, of course. Susan was also thrilled.
Yes, of course. Susan was also thrilled. Jim and Susan were thrilled.
Thrilled.
That is the end of the mini story.
Thank you.